Hello, everybody. Today, a giveaway win from Brox Boys and Erin. If you watch his channel, and you should, he gave away, I don't know, half dozen of these boxes in December, along with some books and some other cool stuff. I was honored to win one. He had his granddaughter help him draw names out of the Angels popcorn bucket, and I was fortunate enough to be drawn. If I recall, there's some loose cards, a graded card, and a hockey pack. I believe. It's been a while, but let's check it out. Thank you very much. If you don't watch his channel, I'm sorry, I don't even know your first name. Brox Boys. He opens packs with his granddaughter, and she does a remarkable job of handling them. Even, you know, their commons, whatever, junk wax. You know, I've seen so many kids just mangle bin cards in half. She seems to understand, like, you're supposed to, like, sort of be nice to these things. And I just think that's kind of cool how she does that. And it's really cool that you're sharing sports cards with the younger generation. Let's look at our loose cards first. Let's see if we can get some fuel out of these. I bet we can. I already see a 90 Donruss. Shout out to Brandon Stebbins. For those of you that watched the giveaway results video yesterday, thanks for being so patient with there being no audio in the second portion of the video. I had switched to my desktop and still had my USB mic plugged in. And for some reason, that like voided the input of the desktop mic, and the laptop didn't want to pick up audio from the USB mic. Anyway, we didn't have any audio, but we survived. I'm actually going to pull out the graded card in the pack now, because I won't be able to get to the rest of the stuff. So let's check it out. Here we go. Here's our graded card. Troy Gloss, PSA 8, Ionics. This is a cool set. Late 90s. Ionics, 1999. 21st National. Does it have a special stamp on it? I know a lot of national cards have like a special embossing or a stamp. I'm not seeing it right now. Doesn't mean it's not there, but pretty cool. Those are neat cards. If I recall, there's some parallels for that set too. Our hockey pack is a 91-92 Upper Deck. And since I'm getting much more into hockey this year, that should be interesting. I'll probably know some of the players, because I actually did watch a decent amount of hockey back in that era. And we've got a lot of cards here. I think I'll probably just go through these really fast and sort of do this as like a bullet points thing. Or my video will be very long. There's probably got to be 200 cards here. So we'll just go through them and just kind of hit the highlights. This is like Fairfield, but way cooler, because I get a pack I can actually use, a graded card, and more than the 100 cards or what have you that Fairfield. We'll put the big names out. There's going to be some big dogs in here, or at least some cool cards. Some cool TTM material. I should have planned this out better. That's kind of not my thing. Here we go. Leave a couple stands for hits or what have you. Maybe I'll do this rather than try to move all the stands again. Here we go. Raffy, 500 Home Run Club member. I mean, let's get him up. Checklist, Devo White. Kelly Gruber, great third baseman. Giambi, Ben Grieve. I always like these black diamond cards. Mike Devereaux, Zeal. Larry Walker, Hoffer, baby. Gary Reedus, Frank DiPino, TTMer. Leon Roberts, Jack Armstrong. Very intense. Watch it. Watch yourself. Mark Grace, looking for his next slump buster. Leon Bip Roberts. Ken Daly. Let's see, we got a bunch of backwards stuff here. Damian Easley. Langston. Wally Joyner. Don August. Chase Utley. Chris Gardner. Another Raffy. We can do a whole pile of Raffies here. Is he still signing for $10? Steve Buechele. I know Brandon got him the other day. But I think I was sort of in a hurry and I just watched took the Cliff's Notes version of that video. Sorry, Brandon. I don't remember if you said you had, what the fee was for him. Buhner. Let's put the bone up here somewhere. The Mariners love. John Kruk, Jeff Robinson, Steve Ellsworth, Bosio, first Mariners no-hitter. Showed as a Brewers there. Another Langston. John Kruk as a White Sox. Little factoid for you. During the season, gets a hit. Raises his career average to 300. Standing on first base. He says, I'm good. I retire. Came out of the game, and that was that. I never much cared for that. I don't think that's very cool. If you're a part of a team, even if they're terrible and have no hopes of winning, and they factor you into their lineup and how they build their roster, you have a responsibility. That's just, I don't know, grumpy old curmudgeon that I am. Bobby Bonilla. Luis Polonia. I don't remember that card. And the wind-up. That, boy, is that ever a wind-up. Charles Nagy, great TTMer. Chuck New Kids on Knobloch. There's a lot of great Bermanism type names in here. Up Kipper, of course, he's a TTMer. Kirby, Hall of Famer. I'm sort of out of room on my stands. Sid Bream, I got a buck laying around. I'll probably get that out at some point. Ryan Howard. If only he could have produced another, I don't know, 6 years like he did at his peak. We'd be talking about him like as if he were a legend. But if you want to be like a Hoffer type, you gotta string together more than 5 or 6 great years. I mean, here Dustin Pedroia just retired, and man, when he was at his best, he was a great ball player. But you know, to go to the next level, you gotta. Eric Davis, another great example. Just his peak was just too short. And great ball player. Holy smokes. And there's so many. There's, you know, we like to call him the Hall of Very Good. And, you know, there's somebody just talking about Hall of Fame stuff. Interesting that he decided, you know, I don't want to be on the ballot for the final year. Another Raffy. I'm interested to see what the Hall of Fame is going to do about that. There's a nice pudge. Because that's not really how they construct the ballot. Like, who wants to be on it? There's a process to get on the ballot, and you don't just take yourself off of it, typically. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Where are we going with this? Oh, yeah, the peaks. The peaks. I mean, there's so many guys that are great for 6, 7 years, maybe even 8. Dale Murphy. I mean, there's so many guys like that. And you just got to figure voters are told to look for that 10 years where they were basically the best in their sport. And if you look back at Pedroia, and when I think of Pedroia, I think of Ellsbury because they were both on the Red Sox at a similar time. And same thing, where it's just like, man, if you could take those couple years, holy smokes, and extrapolate them out over 10, 12, 14 years, yeah, I mean, greatness, but they just fall a little bit short. And people like to complain about how everyone gets in the Hall of Fame. Man, it ain't that way. It's, of all the ball players that have ever played, so few. Is that a traded? Oh, yeah, there we go. you can kind of spot the traded. They have a certain like crispness to them. And of course the white back gives it away. Nice Burt B. Home Bly11. There we go. He's a good case. Even with the exemplary record over 2 decades. Here's my boy Charlie Huff. He's going up back here somewhere. It still took forever for him to get in because we needed the time to provide the context for how great he was. Edgar is the same way. And that's what bothers me about some of these guys. They fall off the ballot the first year. I don't know that... I know Kenny Lofton was on the ballot so briefly. And I'm not saying that he's a Hall of Famer. But I feel like he should have been on there longer so that we could have had the discussion and appreciated his career. But you don't get the 5%, then off you go. And it's not always really fair how it's done. Of course, there's veterans committees, and a lot of players go on that way through other means. I did an experiment once. So typically, here's Yount, Hoffer. Typically, this year no one got in off the writer's ballot. But, 2 to 3. And really over the last 10 years, there's been a ton. There's been a ton of guys that go in. But a typical year, 2 is a good average, maybe 2.5 over the last, 30 years, let's call it. And if you go back on Baseball Reference and you pull up the old ballots and the results, it shows, the percentage they got, of course. And basically next to their name, if they're in the Hall of Fame, this is HOF Ballot. And maybe I'll leave a link below so you can see what I'm talking about. Because this is the kind of tool I'm always looking at on Baseball Reference. If you go in there and you pull up 1980, I'll link 1980 below. That's a cool Edgar. Look at the ballot and realize, I don't have it memorized, a couple of those guys were voted in that year. Let's just assume. And look at how many players on there are in the Hall of Fame now. So what that tells me is that if you don't get in on the writer's ballot, but you're like a Hall of Fame type, eventually you're getting in. Eventually you're getting in. And that's what I found to be true over the years. Dick Allen is a great example. He's going to go in now. He's going to go in now. I'm eyeing a card of, look at that, cool Ricky. Eyeing a card of an old-timey Hall of Famer. I don't want to give it away because it's for my next vintage reveal. But I knew he was a Hall of Famer, and so I just got looking up his stats. And there's nothing that would knock your socks off. But he's a Hall of Famer. And sure enough, he died in something like 48. And he was enshrined in 49. And I wish they didn't do that. I don't know why they do that. But I think when someone passes, then you maybe develop a richer appreciation for what kind of player they were and who they were. And that'll happen with Allen. He'll get in. If you want to stock up on Hall of Famers that aren't in yet, get some Dick Allen cards. I know I need them for my 64 set, which I haven't done yet. But I don't know. I need lots of stuff. Another traded. I always love that Will Clark. I think I have that one signed. Down to the last few cards here. I didn't know this was going to turn into a big Hall of Fame chat video. But these are the type of thoughts that rattle around in my head as I drive to work and back, or mowing my lawn or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know anybody in my personal life that I can really chat to about stuff like this. So it all gets unloaded on you. And that's one thing I appreciate about YouTube, is that I know there's some friends out there watching this that maybe just put this on and they're sorting cards or addressing envelopes for TTMs. Oh, I got a few more. And Just listening to the sound of my angelic voice. Talk about sport we love. Dawson record breaker. I need to get some stuff out to him. He's basically doing $10 now. After a long time, he was strict on 20. And I have a handful of things I want to get Dawson on. There's a nice Barry Larkin. And Brandon, even though we're pretty much best YouTube friends, we'll never agree on the 90 Donruss. I don't know. Back when I used to watch a channel of a popular YouTuber that breaks product and does nothing else, I watched him pull this card. I think it was this card. And because it was a rookie card, he about wet his pants. It's a Matt Stairs rookie card. Ah! Check out my Patreon. All right, you could probably figure out who I'm talking about. Some heritage or vintage, which were, you know, they're basically Topps cards. Okay, here we go. I tried to do that voice, which I wasn't even really trying to do, and now I sprained my vocal cord. Traded. I wish you could make all cards look like the traded cards. They just look so much crisper. Look at that. Why didn't they just do the whole set like that? With a whiter stock, and it's got slightly, well, you know what I'm talking about. You're collectors. Okay, let's do our hockey pack. Get you out of here. Right before I hit record, I saw the couple of cool giveaway videos were up that I had entered. So while this monstrosity of over 17 minutes is uploading, I'll check that out. Brox Boys, thank you for this. A lot of fun. I'm most excited about this hockey pack. I don't get to open much of anything anymore. So this is an upper deck. What did we decide? 91, 92. Mike Richter, rapid fire goaltending, all-star skills. I do remember Mike Richter. Are we going to do the half the cards are backwards bit? Scott Stevens, can't say I recall him. Tom Draper. That guy. Love hockey. Kevin Todd. Quite a juxtaposition, okay? One of these things is not like the other, at least as far as ease of pronunciation of their names. Michael Goulet, I assume, or Mikhail Goulet. I'm going to put him on my, because of the mustache and the intensity. Intensity in 10 cities. Oh, he's falling over. Goulet. Okay. Joe Mullen. Rick Tuckett. Philippe Boucher. Looks like a rookie card. Jason Daw. Joe. You know, Joe. Whatever that says. We're not going to get it. You know what? If you know it, you know it. N-I-E-U-W-E-N. Oh, it's Neuendijk. I remember that. I put a little effort into it. I remember that name. I wonder if he ended up being like something special. Goals. Looks like he was in the 50s a couple years, 40s. Points near 100 once. So he was a good hockey guy. Okay. Thank you, Brox Boys. Hand selected, I'm sure, by Erin, which I appreciate. You know, I enjoy watching your videos. I enjoy seeing how patient you are with your granddaughter. And I love it when people can incorporate their kids and grandkids into their videos, into their hobby, because that is how we are going to grow the appreciation for sports and for collecting into the future. And if you're listening still, I hope that you are able to do that in some ways to your family. I tried myself. It did not take. But you know what? That's okay. I have you guys, which of course makes me very, very happy. Thank you. And until next time, remember, We don't count subscribers, we count friends.